Hello and welcome to Gunners Daily YouTube channel, where I'm covering all the latest Arsenal news and everything that is happening around the club. Today we are going to discuss about Kai Havertz, how he adapted to life at Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, about his current form, his contribution to the team, etc. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thank you, and let's get into it. So Gunners, I guess most of you have seen it already, but for those of you who haven't, Kai Havertz was officially voted as Arsenal's best player for November, winning the award ahead of Declan Rice, William Saliba and Leandro Trossard. Havertz is now the fourth different player to win our monthly award so far this season, with Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka and Takehiro Tomiyasu also collecting trophies this term. So, where to begin? Well, for start, I'll admit, since he arrived at Arsenal, I have been one of Kai Havertz's biggest critics. Make no mistake, I still think Kai Havertz has not reached the levels we need to see from him week in, week out. But I'll be the first to admit if I was wrong when I said earlier in the season that he can't get any better and he's just a waste of cash. Not trying to be harsh on Havertz, but to some extent I still think we could have used those £65 million to address and strengthen some other areas on the pitch. But it is what it is. So, let's get into our stats a bit to see what's been going on so far. Kai Havertz made 24 appearances for Arsenal so far in all competitions. He scored 4 goals and provided 1 assist. 3 of those goals he scored in the Premier League, 1 against Bournemouth, 1 against Luton Town and 1 against Brentford, and he scored 1 goal against Lens in the Champions League. So, if we're going to judge him by stats alone, things aren't looking great for him. But we have to be honest and admit that during this whole period, he basically played on 5 different positions, from midfield to winger to striker, so it wouldn't be fair of us to judge him mostly by his goals and assists. Look, I think we can all agree that for the first 2-3 months of the season, he seemed completely lost out there on the pitch in some games. We could have seen on several occasions that he was not comfortable with this constant changing of positions on the field, that he wasn't sure where exactly he should be and what exactly is expected of him on the pitch. So it's a mixed bag. But let's move a bit forward. Since the start of November, I think he's been really good. I think he finally went through that initial adjustment to the team and the coach's demands and finally started playing much more relaxed and with much more confidence. I think that in the past month or so, we could see that he became much more aggressive on the field, both in attack and creating space for himself in some situations, as well as in duels against the opposition players. He became a lot more tough. I've already seen some comparisons with Granit Xhaka on social media, but let's not exaggerate. Let's go slowly, step by step, and we'll see what the situation is at the end of the season. Because there are still many people online, fans in general, who continue to ask the same question after each of his games. And that is, why isn't Kai Havertz scoring more goals? And that's why I put that title, Why You Are Wrong About Kai Havertz. Exactly because of that. So listen, Arsenal fans and the UK media in general have created this story and narrative that Kai Havertz should score 30 goals per season for Arsenal and should play at the level he was at Bayer Leverkusen. First, Kai Havertz is not Arsenal's primary striker and goal scorer. So that thesis that he should be our main scorer already automatically falls into the water. Since Havertz signed for Arsenal, he played just 2 times as our main striker. So out of 24 games so far that he played, only 2 times was he our primary striker, position-wise. And interestingly, both times it was against Manchester City. First in the Community Shield, where we won on penalties, and then in October, when we beat them 1-0 at the Emirates. That's actually a pretty interesting fact, when you think about it. So, in the remaining 22 appearances, Havertz played in the position of a midfielder, sometimes as an attacking midfielder, and sometimes as a classic midfielder in a pair with Declan Rice. And that's why you are wrong about Kai Havertz. When our fans, journalists, and media in general talk about him like he should score 30 plus goals for us to be considered a success. Speaking of his time and form at Bayer Leverkusen, listen to this. Kai Havertz's best season of his career was a 2018-19 season, when he scored 17 goals in 34 appearances for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, and also adding 3 assists. And after leaving Bayer for Chelsea in 2020, he never managed to score double figures in the league again in his career. 2020-21, 4 goals, 3 assists. 2021-22, 8 goals, 3 assists. 2022-23, 7 goals, 1 assist. So, what? Basically 5 years later, 2018-19 is still the best season of his career, goal scoring wise. And that's why all of these pundits and journalists that are slating him are completely wrong. Because how could you expect of a player that hasn't hit double figures in 4 years to now all of a sudden become Arsenal's, primary goal scorer, when 91% of the games he's played for Arsenal so far this season have been through the middle? Let's face it, Havertz will probably never be that guy when it comes to scoring goals. But if he could replicate the form of Granit Xhaka's last season, I would be more than happy with him. And then, if he manages to do that successfully, week in, week out, for the rest of the season, then, and only then, we can discuss about him not being a flop signing for Arsenal in the summer. After all, as much as I criticized him so far, he's an Arsenal player. And I will always support every Arsenal player, no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's Kai Havertz, Emil Smith-Rowe, or Cedric Soares. So my honest thoughts are, I hope that in the end, all this will end in a good way, and that the best of Kai Havertz in the Arsenal kit is yet to come. And on that note, let's take a quick look at some of your comments on how would you rate Kai Havertz's season so far, so let's take a look. Sarulo says, I'd say 6 out of 10, but drastically improving, so it's a matter of time he'll deliver consistently. Megatron Racing says, yes Kai, let's get behind our boy and stop debating. He's been grafting. Come on you Gunners. Geta says, just shows the level of Arsenal's ambitions really. Jordan Davis says, more of a big game player than Odegaard. Watch Odegaard ghost against Liverpool and Havertz stand up and be counted. Bausham says, has to be Declan Rice for me or Tomiyasu. Off topic, but regarding that Player of the Month award. If I could choose, I would give Declan Rice a Player of the Year award already in December for Arsenal. That's how good he's been. Simon Belmont says, I admit, I didn't want Kai Havertz to come to Arsenal at the start, but if he keeps improving and continues this form, I might have to apologize for criticizing him. I share your thoughts. Benjamin says, it's Arsenal fans who voted, so it is what it is. Lucas Matejka says, well, Havertz and Gabriel Jesus were the only 2 players doing something against Villa, apart from Odegaard burning our chances. The rest were just hikers. Tommy Morgan says, just because he's not so rubbish doesn't mean he should get Player of the Month. And Randy Lee says, I would give him 10 out of 10. And that's basically all for today. So Gunners, once again, thank you all for joining in. Thank you for watching. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Kai Havertz so far this season at Arsenal? How would you rate him? Write down in the comments because I'm really interested to hear you out. Thank you all for joining in. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.